Let me move on to carbon. And, you know, we were really fortunate to have Shell as part of our research because, in my view, the scenario planners at Shell, and those of you who don't know what Shell have been doing, they've been building scenarios right up 30-year scenarios for the last 20 years. And they've just done the scenario for 2050. And their view is this, and it's very dispassionate. They're not, you know, it's not a big PR thing. CO2 emissions will rise under any scenario. Why? Because America has the largest carbon footprint per person of anywhere in the world, and that will continue unless they bring in legislation, and we don't think they will. The developing world has the lowest carbon footprint of anywhere in the world. China and India is currently very low per capita, but that will increase. China will not get its energy through renewable sources, even if you, even in the most optimistic view of renewable energy, wind, waves, does not account for more than 20% of energy. China will use coal, and India will use oil and coal, and oil for India is very weird because it's highly subsidized. So CO2 will rise. So your children, and actually we saw this in the 10-year-olds, will have to deal with CO2. They will have to deal with a world that's warming. What that means, and Shell have written 2 scenarios for that, whichever way you cut it, carbon will begin to be taxed. Now, when that happens, we don't know. Governments don't like to tax carbon, but it will be taxed, and it will probably be taxed by between 2015 and 2020. When it's taxed, the biggest carbon footprint in your company is commuting. That's where all your carbon is used. You will either have to stop that, you'll have to pay for it, you'll have to encourage people to work from home more, you'll have to do what BT is doing and build home-based hubs where people can get together. You'll have to increase your investment in virtual working. You'll have to put money into telepresencing. You'll have to stop people from getting on planes all the time. That is absolutely inevitable. There is no way around that. And so the sooner you begin to factor carbon into the way that you do your HR strategies and your talent management, the better. Because more and more work will be done virtually.